WagerTalk and Sports Memo customers love $9 Mondays, where each package is just $9. For a limited time from June 1st until June 7th, we're offering a 30-day all-access pass from your favorite handicapper for $210. That's only $7 per day. This special includes all daily plays from your favorite handicapper every day for 30 days, including 5% plays normally priced at $39 alone. Use coupon code June30, good for multiple uses at WagerTalk and Sports Memo. Once you sign up, you'll get every play sent to you as soon as they post it.
Welcome, everybody, to WagerTalk Today. It is Thursday, and this, my friends, is the best sports betting daily show on the planet. I'm Lawrence Presman. He's Teddy Covers, and we got it all today, Teddy. All. Dave Cokin right up the top. He's looking at the Edmonton, Colorado side and total. Plus, he's got a bet for us on the Cubs game. He's got a bet for us on the Dodgers game. Adam Trigger's coming up. He's looking at the White Sox Blue Jays. I was on the Blue Jays last night. And the Mariners Oilers. And Andrew Mariners Orioles. I'm all NHL'd up right now. And Andrew McInnis, he too will look at tonight's hockey game, but from a prop perspective and some series bets. And the UFC is this weekend. Well, it's every weekend, and he's got a big play up on that. Teddy, my brother, what did you learn in the wonderful world of sports betting last night?
So there was something, a Kiss stood out to me last night. Kiss, of course, keep it simple, stupid. Not trying to reinvent the wheel every day. Basic concepts in MLB can work as long as you don't overthink it. As a handicapper, one of my bigger weaknesses, and that's important to recognize, what you're good at, what your strengths are, and what your weaknesses are. One of my weaknesses as a handicapper is I overthink things. I don't take the low-hanging fruit. So when it comes to Kiss, right now, Coors Field is pretty simple. Rockies doubleheader yesterday, Mile High Air. This is not much of a let's rely on our bullpen team this year. And even when the weather's been crappy, as it was yesterday in Colorado. First game, total was 10.5, the juice to the under, 15 runs. Second game, total was 10, 25 runs scored. The last 20 games at Coors, Rockies are now 14-6 to the over, 70% overs during this span dating back to late April. Kiss, we'll talk about a little more Kiss opportunities in Big Game Breakdown later in the show. Prez?
Teddy, we got an unbelievable promotion going on. We're giving away a PlayStation 5 for free. Now, I don't even know what one looks like. I am the least gamer human being on the planet. I don't play any of that. I haven't played video games my whole life, like from start to finish. It was never a thing for me. I was always an athlete in my head, but I always tried to be an athlete. But we're giving away a PlayStation 5 for free, and I'm told these things are impossible to get your hands on. Sold out everywhere, $750+ online. Anyway, we're giving it away for free. Head over to the WagerTalk website. Click on the news button. The rules are all there. It's so simple. You have to enter a contest, and then you got to do some social media tasks. And voila, you're in the raffle to win a PlayStation 5. And it's not, Teddy, like we're going to get 1 million people in this contest. I mean, we're not ESPN. We'll have a bunch of people, but this is going to be a legitimately good opportunity to win a PlayStation Sony 5.
Because you got to do something, It's not one of these, just sign up or click or something. You actually have to, there's a social media requirement. So if you're into it, I mean, it's a good chance to get a free PS5. No arguments here.
So you and Isaac sit and play that stuff?
No, never. He's got an Oculus, but I don't play it much.
I have an Oculus too. I don't use it to play games, though. I do, actually. I play the zombie game. It's the only game. It's called Drop Dead. There is a game I play. Damn it. It's the only one I've ever played in my life. It's called Drop Dead. It's a zombie game. In the Oculus, it's spectacular fun. But other than that, I'm not a gamer.
But let me jump in.
Joining what? What?
Because sorry, it's not important. We can bring Dave in. But I was gonna say, you've never played a game in your life. You said ever. But then.
And then
this game is the one you obviously have played something because you wouldn't have walked in to Drop Dead and that's your game. So there's something you played one of the games at some point.
No, well, okay. So in all seriousness, we had it in television when I grew up, and I played after Smash or something for about 10 minutes, and that was it. I would go to the arcade games. I would just stand there trying to pick up girls. Like there was never a time when playing a game was better than something else. But Drop Dead, the zombie game, my friend showed me, when you're in the Oculus, it's a whole different ball game to play in PS5 or Centipede, Pac-Man, whatever the hell it is. But yes, so I was wrong. I am a gamer, Teddy. Yes, the Prez is a gamer. He plays Drop Dead on Oculus. Okay, Dave Cokin. Dave, I'm guessing when the highlight of your game playing career would have been in your prime when they had, remember, Teddy, that car game where you moved the wheel and the car went like in and out with other cars coming down the street. You know, it was a console with a wheel. Do you remember that? No. Dave, did you ever play games?
Figured out the pattern for Pac-Man, and basically there was a pattern for Pac-Man, so I could put a quarter in and play it for as long as I wanted.
Wow, Teddy, that's some info we did not know.
Oh, a Pac-Man guru. No, I had no idea. I wouldn't have guessed it either.
Well, Johnny Detroit was an Atari guy.
The games weren't that sophisticated back then. We're talking what, the 70s? Yeah, that would have been the 70s. Pac-Man, and you could actually figure out the pattern on some of these games.
I can't believe none of you guys remember the game with the cars. There was a line in the middle. Cars would come down the street, and you would have a car at the bottom, and you would have a wheel, and you'd move it so it didn't hit the cars. How do you not remember that, Teddy?
Never saw that one.
That's clearly some Canadian game.
No.
The bar I hung out at, for the most part, back in Rhode Island, had two video games. That Pac-Man, well, it had Pong before that. Pac-Man, and there was something else where you shot spaceships, but that one I didn't like that one, so I didn't play it.
It was Space Invaders.
I think that's it. I think that was it. Yep.
I knew my games because I had to come up with something to talk to the girls about. I just didn't play them. Anyway, Dave, how are you, man?
I used to tell girls that I would teach them a pattern on Pac-Man. That didn't seem to have much impact. They didn't go for that.
Okay, well, how about teach us a pattern on this Oilers game tonight? Game two, game one was insane.
This is a video game. The entire Edmonton postseason has been a video game. Goal after goal after goal. You know, look, they made the total 7, and you can't get scared off it because they're going to go up and down the ice again. And there's going to be the goaltending isn't good. And there's going to be more goals. To me, you have to play the over. I think Edmonton comes out of that first game with the same confidence level they had coming out of the Calgary game 1, which is, we lost, but we were right in this thing after being way behind. And to me, that makes the Oilers worth a bet tonight at a big price. They're not going to be intimidated in the least by the Avalanche. And to me, it's Colorado that might have to worry here. They didn't put this team away, and they were in trouble late in the game. So I think that plus 150 or better, take a small shot with the Oilers, take a small shot with the total, not a parlay. Just play them both individually, and I think you got a decent chance to win both. probably won't do worse than split.
So I want to ask about this total real quick, Dave, because certainly we don't see a lot of sevens with minus 130, minus 135, minus 140 to the over like we're seeing right now on the WagerTalk live odds screen. Is there vulnerability in the NHL betting markets at the margins when it comes to total? Because 5's the lowest, 7's the highest. And when you have two teams that aren't going to allow any opportunities, is 5 too high? And when you have two teams that are just going to march up and down the ice or rush up and down the ice, is 7 too low? Is there legit value on an over 7?
I don't know if it's value or not. It's just the way the game's being played. Edmonton can't stop it. Edmonton has to play fast. And Colorado wants to play fast. And the goaltending stinks. So, the entire Edmonton-Calgary series went over. And I think this one is going to be the same thing. You're going to be getting 10 and 12 goals on a regular basis. So I don't know if it's value or not, because, the odds makers are doing the best they can to get people away from it. They're going to keep betting the over anyway, though. The Edmonton-Calgary series, I would think, was not good for the books. And I don't think this one's going to be particularly good for the books either.
Dave, and one of the reasons that the Calgary game and also this Colorado game really seems to it's going to play to the over on a regular basis. That doesn't mean it'll go over. They're really, McKinnon and McDavid are playing head to head, and that's not something we see on a regular basis. Because the two big scoring lines are playing on the ice at the same time, and both push. It's creating an incredible amount of space between the forwards and the defense, which is creating a lot of goal scoring opportunities. We don't normally see this. Sorry, Dave?
Both teams are really fast.
Yeah.
I mean, the Avalanche are one of the fastest teams I've ever seen. They might be the fastest team I've ever seen. And
Teddy thinks they're the best team ever assembled.
I know about that argument. And as I've stated before, Colorado still has to win something before you put them in the
Teddy.
category.
Told you, Teddy. Anyway, Dave, let's move to baseball. The Cubs against St. Louis. I know you're going to talk first 5, so how do we bet this game?
This one is a first 5 because Liberatore and Thompson. Listen, I'm not trying to make Keegan Thompson out to be a star, but he's pitching good ball for the Cubs. And I'm not going to, until he puts up a for sale sign, I don't think I want to go against him. Liberatore is a good prospect, but he's got the 3 red flags right now. The walk rate is high, the barrel rate is high, the hard hit percentage rate is high. Those are not guys you're not going to make money betting on those guys. You're going to make money betting against those guys unless they're on a terrible team and the price is like $260 or something like that. It's not the case here. I'll go starting pitcher here. Late innings, Cardinals have an edge, but I don't care about late innings. I'll take Thompson over Liberatore at Pick'em. Minus 110 first 5. Give me the Cubs. That's a play for me tonight. It's not my best bet, but it is a 3% play.
So, Dave, when we look at these two lineups right now, obviously the starting pitching matchup favors Chicago, in your opinion, in this one. But when we look at these two lineups, boy, St. Louis, the potency is there, and the Cubs seem to be hit or miss. Does that concern you at all in this matchup?
I don't know about that. The Cardinals' weighted runs created plus on the road versus righties is 94. That's below average. They have not hit the ball real well last week. I think they are at 93 over the past week. Cubs are actually at 106 over the past week. And the Cubs versus lefties at home, some of these were wind-aided, but the fact is they've got a 120 WRC plus versus lefties at home this year. So this matchup in the first 5, and look, doesn't mean it's going to get there. And I'm not completely sold on Keegan Thompson maintaining what he's been doing. But on paper, the Cubs should be ahead after 5 innings this game. So at minus 110, that's a bet.
Dave Cokin, everyone, number one baseball betting expert over the last 4 seasons at WagerTalk.com, and really just unbelievable. I remember a couple of years ago, you and I were duking it out for that number one spot. And like always, Dave, you kicked my ass. You got a best bet going for tonight, guys. Head over to WagerTalk. Check that out. Dave, you got some thoughts on the Dodgers-Mets game. Nice series. 2 teams that are at the top of their division. Minus 160, 8.5. I'm guessing you're going 5 again.
No, actually, I'm going nothing here because this just changed. Going into last night, I marked this game down and I circled the Dodgers. It's like, okay, well, they'll end this little. They'll get out of the Pittsburgh series with 1 win, and they'll go into tomorrow's game with some positive momentum. So I put it on the list of games to talk about. And then they lost the game, got swept. So they're not exactly in great form, and the Mets are playing really good ball. But if I had to bet the game, I'd still go first 5 Dodgers. I'm not going to. But I like the way Gonsolin's throwing. He's not getting much attention, but Gonsolin's pitching really good ball for the Dodgers. And Walker's a guy who I think the Dodgers might be able to get healthy against. So I think there's still a first 5 edge for the Dodgers. But, man, the Mets, I don't want to play against the Mets full game right now because they're not losing any games. And the Dodgers off 3 straight losses. It's probably not the time to play them. I mean, some people will look at that and say, well, it's the Dodgers. They're not going to have long losing streaks. And they're right. But I'd rather not play on a team that just lost 3 straight to the Pirates. So I'm going to leave it alone. Opinion, Dodgers first 5, but not a bet. But the other game is a bet for me. So you actually got 2 bets, 3 bets. Oilers, small over in that game. And I did make a 3% play in the Cubs' first 5 innings against the Cardinals. And I've got a best bet up tonight. Those have won 3 in a row. We're doing pretty good. So, get the game and expect to get paid on the 4% best bet.
Dave, are you concerned at all about the Dodgers' fatigue factor? This is a team that's had 1 day off since May 7th, I think it is, and they played multiple doubleheaders, and they're nearing the tail end of just a brutal stretch of games, and they looked a little lifeless against Pittsburgh. The energy wasn't there. They looked like a tired team to me. Or was that one of those deals? They didn't get up for that series. I got up for the Mets this weekend. How much does fatigue play into your MLB thought process?
It's tough because the scheduling's kind of weird this year because of the fact we lost a week early in the season and they got to squeeze these games back in. So I don't know. I mean, I don't have anything to base it on. We haven't had schedules like this in the past, so where's the history? I do think there's something to be agreed upon that the Dodgers probably looking more ahead to this Mets series and just kind of figured, well, it's Pittsburgh. We can take care of them. And look, for what it's worth, the Pirates are only 5 games under 500. They're not playing bad ball, which, that's bad for the ownership there because they need to keep losing games so they can deal away their players for more prospects. So Pittsburgh, they're not following the script for the Pirates ownership there. They're playing pretty good ball.
Dave, just before I let you go, real quick, Vasilevsky hasn't lost back-to-back games in 3 years or something. They lost last night. It sets up a Tampa Bay situation tomorrow. Is this just automatic? They lose, we bet Tampa Bay the next game?
I'm going to. If it doesn't get there, well, that's showbiz. But what is it, 18 in a row or some ridiculous thing for Vasilevsky? And I think the Lightning were rusty last night. They had 9 days off. They weren't sharp. We know that the more rested teams, these teams with long layoffs, have a tendency to struggle early in series. That's a pattern that's developed and been followed over the years. I think Tampa plays a lot better tomorrow. I'm not going to make it a big play, but I'm not playing against it. That's for sure.
Teddy?
And just one last thought about those Pirates that you were talking about, Dave. Pirates are 0-6 against the Brewers, 22-21 against everybody else. Dave Cokin, locked and loaded for Thursday night MLB. Anything else you want to promote, Dave, before we let you go?
Yeah, I'll be in the baseball show in about an hour and a half. And we'll have all kinds of games to talk about tonight.
There we go. Dave, outstanding job. Awesome. Thanks. Kick ass tonight. Remember, guys, Dave Cokin, #1 baseball expert at WagerTalk.com over the last 4 years. Teddy, we're going to take a quick break. We got your big game breakdown, Adam Trigger, Andrew McInnis, and, of course, the daily presidential address that stunk yesterday. Dan, cue it up.
WagerTalk and Sports Memo customers love $9 Mondays, where each package is just $9. For a limited time from June 1st until June 7th, we're offering a 30-day all-access pass from your favorite handicapper for $210. That's only $7 per day. This special includes all daily plays from your favorite handicapper every day for 30 days, including 5% plays normally priced at $39 alone. Use coupon code June30, good for multiple uses at WagerTalk and Sports Memo. Once you sign up, you'll get every play sent to you as soon as they post it.
It is time for today's big game breakdown. I gave you an NBA Finals preview early in the week. I'm not going to do game one for the big game breakdown, so I apologize for that. I don't have a lean on the side, and I do have a play on the total for tonight for the clients. You can get that right now at WagerTalk and or sportsmemo.com. That said, I'm going to try to do better than my stupid Fade Scooble recommendation yesterday. Sometime I'm as dumb as anybody, and the presidential address sucked yesterday. Well, my big game breakdown sucked as well. So let's see if we can get you guys a winner. We talk about the Atlanta Braves and the Colorado Rockies. You can find the Braves anywhere between -140 and -150. Looking at the Wager Talk live odds screen, total has been bet up 11, now 11.5 to the over, and you can understand why. Look, the Rockies might be exhausted today. It was a long doubleheader yesterday. True, that's not always good for overs. But if you watched at the top of the show, you already know what's been going on at Coors Field. Now 14-6 to the over since their last homestand in April. And that's included multiple. There was a whole week where it was in the 30s in May. It was really cold. The ball's been flying out of the park. Coors still as friendly a hitter's park as you're going to find in MLB. And neither Colorado nor their opponents have been able to get consistent outs out of their bullpens. Inning after inning, series after series. The Braves can hit, and they've got their own bullpen issues. Let's kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. Take the over. Atlanta and Colorado. Sharp money's been flowing on this one for good reason. Expect more runs in bunches at Coors Field. Braves and Rockies over the total. There's your big game breakdown. Back to you, Mr. Prez.
Teddy covers, Adam Triggers joining us. He is young enough to have been a hardcore gamer. I'm thinking Madden. Adam Trigger, did you spend, let me rephrase that. Did you waste a lot of time playing these games?
Oh, I spent plenty of time on Madden. I would say up through college. And then like right when I graduated college, I got so into sports betting that like all my free time was sports betting related. And I had to give up the video games. But yeah, Madden was life when I was like in middle school and high school for sure.
Yeah, and I guess that would be the difference between you and I, Adam. Man, I was singularly focused on females, and I wear it as a badge of honor. I mean, it's like if they were playing Madden, I would have been a Madden expert. But I mean, it was like anything that kept me away from trying to get laid was something that I considered bad. So
now,
look,
now I got to jump in and ask because,
oh God.
All right. Well, I got to, because you're like, all I was trying to do was get laid. Did you never have a girl? Did you never have anyone that like actually liked you enough to hang out with you and do it again and again? You were just always
Teddy,
like,
I didn't like them. Teddy, I was a pig, like flat out. Teddy, God gifted me or punished me or laughed at me by handing me two daughters. I was the worst. Like, I look back and I'm ashamed of my behavior. I'm really ashamed of what I did when no. But I did have 3 girlfriends. The longest one lasted 3 months.
I'm taking the under.
But yeah, dude, I mean, come on, man. That was all I wanted. All I wanted was women. Adam, Blue Jays, White Sox. Jays have won 7 in a row. They are cooking right now. There's a great vibe in the clubhouse. And they've got their monster on the mound tonight, Manoah. I don't want to ever bet against this kid. He is unbelievable. How do we bet this game? Minus 180 now?
So, Prez, this is a 4% play for me. I know you like when I come on and give out the 4% plays, so I'm going to do that right here. And I'm actually going to fade him. I'm on White Sox plus 1.5. I actually gave it out to my clients at minus 120. I see it's crept up. It looks like it's minus 130 now. I wonder if that has to do with Yimi Garcia probably not being available for the Blue Jays today. Looks like he's been used quite a bit lately, which I think is significant at the back end of the game. Manoah's been great. I'm not going to make a case. 1.77 ERA, 0.91 WHIP. Hard to argue with those numbers. But he's still young. The sample size is still small enough. I don't think he's Nolan Ryan yet, Prez. So, I'm willing to think that there's a little regression in his future. Even if he just regresses back to last year's numbers, which was like an ERA in the mid to low 3s, I believe. I think the fact that the mentality of Blue Jays have won 7 in a row, so I can't bet against them, or I'm not going to bet against them, create some value here. For me, I haven't bet against them on this streak, so I don't really care what they've done the last 7 games. I'm really more interested in what's going to happen this game. And in this game, I feel like the White Sox getting a 1.5 on the road, which I've said a number of times is the best bet you can make in baseball. You get plus 1.5 with a road team. You essentially get 9 at-bats to your opponent's 8 at-bats. So if you're going to give me the White Sox here with the extra at-bat on the road at this price, I think it's a really good bet. You look at Johnny Cueto. He got hit a little bit in his last start, but his first 2, he's only made 3 starts this year. The first 2 were 6 scoreless innings against the Royals, 6 scoreless innings against the Yankees. And then last start, he got hit around a little bit, but you know what? He still pitched into the 7th inning, which is impressive to me. The Blue Jays yesterday, they won their 7th straight game despite Hyunjin Ryu having to leave early, which means they needed sort of 5 innings from their bullpen to hold off that 7-3 lead. So, without Yimi Garcia, who's likely not available today at the back end, I think you've got a lot of value here on the White Sox, even if they are trailing late, that they could potentially get in, and get it within a run at the end of this game. But, the White Sox have been I'll call them a little unlucky, right? Like, they haven't hit with runners in scoring position. You can look at that a couple of different ways. One way, they're kind of not capitalizing when they've got runners on base, but they are getting runners on base to get in these spots. And I think Moncada and Robert coming back might help that runners in scoring position average, go up a little bit. So here, I got the 1.5 to work with the White Sox. This White Sox team took more action than any other team earlier this year to win the AL, to win the World Series in the futures markets. I think we're going to see a little uptick for the White Sox, and I think they're great value getting a 1.5 here.
Yeah, I think the money is coming for Chicago because Springer has been announced out of the lineup for Toronto. Yep. Of course, it's an early start game with 3:07 Eastern time start. I want to ask you this, Adam, because all I want to do is bet against the White Sox. I think the White Sox stink. All right. And I think La Russa's the single worst manager in baseball. And Chicago's got all of these stars that aren't producing and all of these star pitchers that aren't producing. And I look at Chicago as the legitimate underachievers that will continue to underachieve that we can bet against. I just went back and looked. They played 48 games. They've lost 6 of them by 1 run. One of those came opening day. Why the plus 1.5 instead of the nice plus price? Why lay a price at plus 1.5 instead of get the nice plus price on those days where the White Sox actually win?
So I'm a big proponent of taking the plus 1.5 when you can get a good price on it. It's tough to find +1.5 at a good price, especially when they're the road team, because you're essentially getting the free at bat, and the books have gotten sharper to this. So I love a +1.5 bet when you can bet the road team, because you're essentially getting 9 at bats to your opponent's 8 at bats, right? The only way the Blue Jays are getting their 9th at bat is if they're tied or trailing, in which case you'd be in a really good spot to cash with a +1.5.
Right.
Last I checked, I think it's something like 28% of Major League Baseball games end in 1 run. And you mentioned the White Sox, they're losing close games, which sort of protects me a little bit. If they blow another one close here, they get walked off on the road, which is certainly a possibility. And then, of course, I'm anticipating Garcia being out. So if the Blue Jays have to sort of go a different route to close this game out, they could turn a 5-3 game into a 5-4 game without their closer, and I might backdoor it. So I just see more ways that this one gets there against the +1.5. And when I gave this out to my clients earlier, it was only -120. Even at -130, I think that's a reasonable price. My cutoff for these is usually -130. So, if you can find +1.5 at -130 or less, it's usually the right call in my opinion.
Adam Trigger, and a great answer to Teddy's question. Teddy, the porn bots are back in the chat room. Naked HDXYZ. Anyway, they write, they screw overpriced Tinder. That's one of their sales pitches. Guys, I missed out on Tinder. Is it not free? Tinder's free, right? Nope.
I don't know.
Nobody?
I would assume so. Yeah, of course it is.
Prez,
Yeah.
no, I think all these
In-app
apps,
purchases.
I think all these apps have figured out a way to basically upcharge you at this point, and I don't think Tinder is any exception. I think there's upcharges in every app now.
Joe Ranieri, nothing is free with women. Well said, Joe, especially divorce. That's the most costly of all things. Anyway, one of these guys in here says the over and under on me getting STDs by university was 4.5. It's under the total, but I met a girl at midnight in Montreal. They counted it down. It was New Year's Eve, 10/9/8. Some girl I didn't know jumped on top of me. We ended up back in her hotel room. Her husband calls on the phone in the hotel room, says he's coming up. I'm like, what the hell? I grab my clothes, totally naked, run to the elevator, get dressed. And then 2 weeks later, I get a call from her. I gave her chlamydia. Ended up not being true, but I had to go get a test. And if any of you guys have ever been tested for chlamydia, the worst experience of my life. And
that story doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. How is the husband going to call up to his wife, say, "Oh, I'm coming up to the room on New Year's Eve"? No. It doesn't even pass the smell test. Husband and wife
maybe they were swinging, Teddy. Maybe they were open. No. Maybe they were at an open marriage. That's what happened. I don't care if you believe me. It's irrelevant to the experience.
Clearly. Yes.
Mariners, Orioles. Just go.
I lean Orioles here. Hasn't made my card yet, but last night I cashed with the Orioles. I had a +1.5. They won the game easily, 9-2. And the Mariners, after that loss, are now 9-19 on the road this season. And Chris Flexen goes for them today. He's someone I've been following closely since 2020, because in 2020 he was in the KBO with the Doosan Bears, dominating that league, and I made a bunch of money backing him. And then I made a bunch of money backing him last year. The Mariners were 22-9 in his starts last year, but he was very, very fortunate. He had one of the highest strand rates in baseball last year for starting pitchers, and he was just very fortunate. The Mariners hit for him, and I felt like he was very inflated coming into this season. This year, Mariners are 2-7 when he pitches, and he's really gotten hit pretty hard on a regular basis. And the numbers kind of reflect that: 4.47 ERA, 1.41 WHIP. And I went back to last year and then looked this year. His numbers on the road, far worse than they are at T-Mobile Park up in Seattle. So, He's on the road here today, and he's just been a good fade on the road this year. He was actually a decent fade on the road last year, even when he was overachieving. The Orioles have really played good ball. They're 8-6 in their last 14 games, and all these wins have come against the Red Sox, Yankees, and then the Mariners last night. So they're a team that, I've kind of been ahead of the curve on so far this year. I've cashed a bunch with the Orioles. I cashed with them last night, and I still lean their way tonight. Jordan Lyles, not someone that is going to sort of jump off the page to anyone, but he's been in the league for 11 years without interruption. You won't find that by many that have an 11-year MLB career going, no injuries, hasn't missed a season, hasn't gotten sent down. So he's been sort of a consistent guy that goes out and gives a professional effort. And I think if he battles and keeps the Orioles in the game, this Orioles bullpen, one of the best stats I've seen in MLB this year, their bullpen is like top 5 in a bunch of metrics, including WAR, and bullpen ERA is like 5th in the league, I believe, which I don't think many people know that offhand. So the Orioles have been a play on for me. I cashed with them last night, and I looked their way again here. I haven't added it to my card officially yet, but I do lean their way in their game against the Mariners tonight.
Marco Adam Trigger. That was a joke.
Adam Trigger,
between
what do you
Teddy
got going for tonight that you can promote right here on WagerTalk Today?
I gave you the 4% play. I'm going to add some other stuff. KBO line's not up yet, so I'll definitely have a Korean baseball play for sale. I think I'm 10-2 in my last 12. If you're in New York City this weekend, come to the Canuck. I'm doing a live show with Kelly in Vegas, Ariel Epstein, and Chris Thurston, 5:30 p.m. We're going to do the live show. We're going to do the hustle like on location. Then we're going to hang out and watch the playoff hockey game, which, by the way, guys, I went to Game 7 on Monday night. That was a pretty cool experience. I'm like not much of a hockey guy, but I think I am now because that was pretty cool. Even though the Hurricanes got murdered and that crowd was out of the game before the game ever even started. Still a really cool experience to go to Game 7. So New York City, 5:30 p.m. Saturday at the Canuck. If you guys are around, come say hi. We'll buy you some drinks and hang out.
That's
What's
awesome.
the Canuck?
It's a bar in, I believe it's in like the Chelsea. I'm not super proficient with my NYC,
You know how to
areas.
spell
I
it
think
so
it's
someone
Chelsea.
can Google it?
Yep.
Canuck.
The Canuck.
Canuck. Canuck.
Yep.
Really? Okay. Teddy, can you
It could
spell
be spelled
Raiders?
anyway, dude. It's a bar.
Get the hell out of here. Teddy.
Yes.
Johnny Detroit
Yeah.
suggests a celebrity boxing match between me and you. Yoshi thinks that you would win. I want to say for the record that I'm in. And if you can last 3 rounds against me, I will hand
3
you
rounds.
$5,000 and I will donate $5,000 to a charity of your choice. So I'm in.
So that's almost worth starting to work out for. All right. But you work out every day. I worked out, I think, once 25 years ago. You have an edge. And I smoke pretty heavily. You have
And
an
I'm
edge
a
there,
black
too.
belt. And I'm a
So,
black belt.
Yeah, but that's sure. So you know how to throw. So there, you have some pretty big edges. You're younger than me. That said, boy, I would love. I mean, it's almost worth it just to train to kick your ass.
I know. I want to
I
do
think it'd
it
be
so
a whole lot
bad.
of fun. You know,
Dude, I want
it's like,
to punch the shit out of you
I
so
know.
badly.
I understand.
Oh my God.
And we would probably feel better afterwards. You know, we got to
Yeah.
have gloves.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those. I mean, I have to train for a year to fight you, dude. I mean, I'm not like close
But
to being
it'll
in
be
shape,
worth
dude.
it, dude. It'll be worth it. Like, just think, I will let you at least hit me. Like,
What do you let me? Thanks, Lawrence.
Teddy, to wrap this whole show up before we bring Andrew McInnis on, I would give up trying to find women to beat the shit out of you. Andrew McInnis
You married
joining
me.
us. Yes, if I wasn't. I would not fight you, Andrew. You're just too damn tall.
It's the reach. It's the reach, man. You wouldn't get close. Man, I'll tell you what, I'll take the under on the rounds. Whatever you guys give me for
Yeah.
rounds, give me the under.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
And the
I was
crazy
like,
thing is,
one
Andrew,
round.
in all seriousness, Teddy and I will go out there, throw about 12 punches each, and then lie on the ground, just
Are you
dead tired.
We would be Hearns Hagler, dude. It'd be first round for the ages. But that'd be all we have. Yeah,
There'd be no
Anyway,
patience.
Andrew, let's start with
swinging,
fights.
swinging.
Let's start with the fights. I mean, we're right here. We're on it. Volkov fighting this weekend. I can't pronounce Rosenstruik. I don't know if I got that right. How do we handicap this fight?
So, a lot of times that I've come on your guys' show, I give out a pick in the women's division. It's kind of obvious where I'm going to go. Take the fighter to win via decision. If it's a heavyweight fight, I'm taking that fighter to win via KO, or inside the distance, so to speak. This time around, we have two really durable fighters here in the heavyweight division. I'm looking at over 3.5 rounds. Two of Rosenstruik's 3 main events have gone over 3.5 rounds. Two of Volkov's past 4 have gone over 3.5. This is the big one that sticks out. Both these guys have been finished just once combined in 21 UFC appearances as far as TKO and KOs go. To me, that's a big deal. And you hear the term chess match get used in UFC, feeling each other out process. Sometimes the heavyweight division is kind of what we describe with what you and Teddy would be doing. Just go out there and start swinging. But with these two guys, I expect some patience. I expect kind of, see what the other opponent's doing type of thing to get things started. And in a heavyweight division bout this weekend in the main event, I'm looking towards over 3.5 rounds.
So, I mean, I get the concept here, but we know the immense power that heavyweights can have. We also know the recklessness that they can have. So when you're talking about an over 3.5 and there's juice attached to it, what makes you so confident with this? And how high do you think this juice is going to go?
I do think it's going to continue to climb, Teddy. And, Volkov is one of those guys, Teddy, where he's not going to kill you with one punch. He'll kill you with 100. Like I said, about that, precision, about the patience and that type of thing. As far as Rosenstruik goes, he's got the ability to put you out and flip the switch in your brain, so to speak. But again, I feel like that won't come until the later rounds. The durability of both of these fighters is second to none. And I mentioned earlier about how few times they've been finished combined by TKO or KO. So with all that being said, and with the magnitude of this bout, Teddy, it's not fun waiting for these 3.5 rounds to be over. I'll tell you that much when you're watching the UFC. I'd much rather cheer for a knockout, but I really think the patience of these fighters will get us over 3.5 rounds.
Rev, I'm not going to read your joke on the show, but I got it, and it's an old one. It's been used a million times before.
I got to ask you, Prez, real quick. I mean, what are these tests you're talking about that are the worst things to get done? Like, I know you're a lot older than me, but in the technology,
they took a cotton
swab
and stuck it up the hole of my pee-pee.
Yeah. That's not how it goes anymore.
For 3 days in agony. What?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit different now than when you were younger. It's not like that.
Speaking Times have changed, of firsthand experience, we got some time, Andrew. Go ahead.
Well, there's a thing called a urine test.
Oh, you know what, Andrew? Let's move on. I don't want to hear. I wanted to hear your personal story, not you telling me about freaking tests. Dude, we got Edmonton tonight playing Colorado. Dave Cokin likes Edmonton a little bit and the over a lot. How are you betting this game?
Well, before I get into the game, I just wanted to mention, sometimes you bet a series pre-flop. You jump in before the series starts on a wager as far as how many games will it go, who will win the series spread. What I decided to do in this series was sit back, relax in game one, just play some props, and hope that Colorado wins game one so that I can get an outstanding number on Edmonton plus 2.5 series games, meaning if this series goes farther than 5 games, I'm cashing a ticket. Now, at some sports books, you can get 130, 135, maybe up to as high as 140. But I think this is a rock-solid wager, guys, that this is the day to do it. This is the time right now to take Edmonton at plus 2.5 series games. One of the big reasons why is that, well, game ones just don't seem to be their thing. I mean, a rough game one against LA, a rough game one against Calgary, and now a rough game one against Colorado. But a point that Dave made, I really liked. And what he said was just that, hey, look, they might have given up 8 goals, but they still scored 6. They were still involved in that game, and not once did they give up in that contest. So I really think that this series isn't going to be a breeze by any means for Colorado. I think Colorado wins the series, guys. I'll be clear about that. But I don't think it's with ease. So I think the plus 2.5 number, how many times are you going to get a great price on a series in a conference final, whether it's NBA or NHL, plus 2.5 at minus 130? Not too often. So that's what I like as far as the series goes.
That makes so much sense, dude. And I'm glad you spoke about that. Andrew McInnis, was fun talking to you late last night, Andrew. Try to organize what we're going to do this weekend. Vivian and I were like, let's go to Edmonton and see the game. Then we went, added up the prices, realized there was absolutely nothing to do in Edmonton when the game wasn't on. I mean, we went. We were like, things to do in Edmonton. And it was like, visit the zoo. And I was like, we're not going to Edmonton. Anyway, you got a 5% play going in the UFC Saturday. You're 10-3 in your 5% UFC bets last 13. Guys, you can have a promo code $20 off this play. Is that right? $20 off?
You'll get it for $20 with UFC 20.
So $15 off. The promo code is UFC 20. Andrew, thanks, brother. What a show, man. And we got the daily presidential address. All right, it's the daily presidential address. I'm Lawrence Presman. If you did not watch WagerTalk Today, the show today was out of hand. We had Dave Cokin, Adam Trigger, and Andrew McInnis on. An insane amount of actionable information, but more importantly, at least from my perspective, a whole lot of laughs. Today was a great show. Make sure to check it out. Our YouTube channel, WagerTalk TV. Also, a quick reminder to everybody, WagerTalk is giving away a free Sony PlayStation 5. Not 4, not 1, 5. Head over to WagerTalk, click on the news button. All the info is there. Make sure to join us. We're giving away a Sony PlayStation 5. I got a side and total tonight in the hockey game. I got one baseball bet as well. But here are 2 bets I am making tonight. Golden State Warriors minus 3.5. I am playing that. And I am also playing the under in the San Francisco baseball game. So that's the Golden State Warriors minus 3.5 and the under in San Fran. Teddy, it's a bagel and cream cheese day for me. I got a golf lesson at 2. I got to get moving. Take us home, my brother.
Sure, that's going to wrap it for the Thursday edition of Wager Talk Today. We'll do it again tomorrow, same time, same channel, 9 a.m. here on the left coast, noon for you back east. Between now and then, enjoy the games and good luck with your wagers. We'll see you tomorrow.
WagerTalk and Sports Memo customers love $9 Mondays, where each package is just $9. For a limited time from June 1st until June 7th, we're offering a 30-day all-access pass from your favorite handicapper for $210. That's only $7 per day. This special includes all daily plays from your favorite handicapper every day for 30 days, including 5% plays normally priced at $39 alone. Use coupon code June30, good for multiple uses at WagerTalk and Sports Memo. Once you sign up, you'll get every play sent to you as soon as they post it.